Hi, y'all, it's me. I am back with money saving tips and ideas for 2012. I apologize for not making any sooner. I kind of lost track of what I was doing. But anyhow, I'm going to share with you 3 tips and ideas today, numbers 11, 12, and 13. And I'm going to start off with this first one and hope that it cooperates. Okay, this has to do with dies that are really intricate, like this particular one that I'm holding in my hand. As you can see, I went ahead and ran this through my die cutting Big Shot or whatever, and the paper that I was cutting is all stuck inside of this die. Now, in order for me to get it out, I really have to sit around here and do this pokey tool thing, and this is going to take a second, but I'm trying to make a little bit of a display here of what I have to go through when I use this particular die. So give me 1 second. I'm just got to loosen everything up here. So basically, I had to do all of that and pry this out. And you have to be really careful because if you don't, you'll tear it. And there. So that's what I have to go through when I use that particular die. And then I have to go back here and continue poking and getting all of that debris that's left in the die out. So as you can see, you know, it's a little bit of a job to use it. Now, I saw this on the internet somewhere, and I can't remember where I saw it, but it was a really good tip, so I wanted to share that with you. You need wax paper, and I've had this in my craft stash forever, but I'm sure it's at the dollar store or wherever, you know, you can find at the market or something. And basically what you do is you get your paper, you use a piece of the wax paper, and then you use your die on top of the wax paper. Excuse me 1 second. I have to work off camera since this won't fit in camera. And I'm going to run that through my machine. 1 second here. Okay. Sorry. Oops, let me pull that out. Take it off of there and off of here. Now, as you can see, it's still in there, which is not bad. All I have to do is poke out like a couple of places, just one where I can actually get started, and I can just lift that right out like that, and it really doesn't take as long. Of course, I have to go back and pull out the wax paper, but with the wax paper being in there, it helps all the pokey stuff come out really fast and easy. So it's not as time consuming. I know it seems a little maybe whatever, but I have some dies that are pretty intricate, and you know, I get really frustrated when I have to stand there and poke out the design I want. So that just kind of helps to keep it moving more freely. So that was number 11. Tip number 12 also has to do with dies, and it happens to be the Spellbinders dies. And you know, in each set that you get, well, most of the sets you get these little baby dies in the center, and it's like, you know, they're cute and you can use them for some things, but I wanted to try to think of something else to do with them. And so basically what I did was I took this one here and punched it out just so you could see what it looks like. And I thought, you know, everybody likes the tabs and the tab punches and all that. Well, we could use these for those as well. And since the designs are symmetrical, you basically just cut it in half, and then you can glue the two halves together like this, and you've created a tab. That simple. And here's some that I did, and I made a dramatic statement with black in this just so you could see them, but that's a tab there, and you could see it's pretty cute because it's something different and unique. And if you did it in pattern paper, that's a different one there. They're all different actually. So they're really cute, and they just make a nice little statement, and it's just another way to use your little tiny Spellbinder dies there. So that's tip number 12. And then lastly would be tip number 13, and this is not really showing you just how I actually organize something that I do. How many times have you been in the middle of a project and said, oh gosh, I remember I saw how to make this pocket and on a video, and I can't remember whose video, and I know I saved it, but let me look through my favorites and find it, and no, that's not the one, and you know how that goes. Well, I have this habit. I really love to make all the pockets you guys show us how to do and stuff. And so what I do when I'm making the items is I actually sit here with you while you're showing and I make one. And here's the one I made from for this particular one. And what I do is I make the entire tag. I use paper that comes in stacks that I would normally not use for anything. It's like just trash. But when you need a 12 by 12, it's perfect to use because you know you're not going to use it anyway. So I go ahead and I make a sample up. And as you can see here, on this one, I wrote basic information. Now let me see if I can get closer. I wrote down that this is a tag and I need to cut 4 at 4 by 5 inches. I need 2 for tags and 2 for mats. So the tags would be here and here, and then the mats there and there. Then the other information that I include here is that I saw it on a YouTube video. The name of the video was Side Pocket Mini Scrapbook Album. I got it from Just a Few Designs, and it was dated July 16, 2010. So if I can't figure out how I did this particular tag by looking at it, I have a reference to go to find it. It makes it so much easier. And I keep all of these in a little box, and when I'm working on a project and I think there's a page I'd like to add, I just go through and look and see which one it is, and I can usually figure out from my sample how I did it, but if I don't, I have that information. So you can see here, I'll show you a couple others. This one was, I didn't write down any information because it's pretty intense in this particular book. YouTube is where I saw it. Cardstock Mini Album on YouTube was the name of the title that the person gave it. It was TKD Gals AMM, November 24th, 2010. And then this is the sample. And you can see here I used some gross paper, but it was just because it's a sample and I wanted to actually try it first before I waste any good paper. And actually she had a printout with the instructions and measurements, so I just printed that out and added it to my sample so that if I want to sit down and do this, I have all the information at my fingertips. Here's another one. You can see I did the same thing. I used old paper, and this is actually a new one. I think she just showed this one, Marla from Lake Avenue. Yeah, this one's February 1, 2012. So I have the sample of how she did her little book, and I keep it like that. So that's just another idea for you that will make it easier when you're trying to incorporate these wonderful pockets and things that we learn, and then we forget where the videos are and all. And plus it helps you to give credit to whomever idea it is that you borrowed it from. So there you go. I will be back soon with more tips and ideas. Have a great day. Bye.